Individuals with dismissive avoidant attachment have what I call the blinders effect. This makes them miss cues for connection, and it makes them have really, really, really difficult problems with understanding and validating the emotions of other people and understanding and experiencing their own emotions inside of relationships. I'm Dr. Sarah Hensley. I'm a specialized social psychologist, and I've been studying the science of attachment and attraction inside romantic relationships for nearly 20 years. So in order to understand what the blinders effect is, you have to understand first how it was created. So individuals with dismissive avoidant attachment were basically emotionally neglected in childhood, and they don't even really realize they were emotionally neglected. They got no emotional attunement from their parents. So they were raised by parents that were like, quit crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Oh, stop complaining, stop whining. From a very early age, we're talking toddlerhood here, their parents did not respond appropriately to their emotional expression. Okay, they dismissed it, ignored it, or even punished it in many instances. They were pushed as children into hyper independence, kind of like, get away from me, quit bothering me, go do X, Y, and Z. The focus in childhood was on achievement and on responsibility, not on emotional health. So there were very few, if any, conversations around emotion. The only emotion that was ever probably displayed to them was anger. Okay. And so there may have been some positive emotional attunement related to achievement, but other than those two things, there was no emotional modeling. So parents didn't inquire about their children's emotions. Parents didn't give their children room for expressing any emotions in childhood. And so what that person learned to do was to suppress their emotions. Okay. And deep inside of their subconscious, what developed was a wound around defectiveness and a focus on self. So if you are pushed into independence too soon for your development, you don't have any appropriate adult really helping you figure out how to navigate the difficulties of surviving in this world. And that usually happens with dismissive avoidance. And so if you are a young child and you are given too much independence, too much responsibility, and also you are not getting any modeling on how to attend to other people's emotions or how to express your own emotions, you are going to develop these proverbial blinders. These blinders are obviously figurative, right? I'm not talking that they have literal, physical blinders up, but they might as well have them because they completely miss your emotional expression that is telling them that there is something going on that you are not happy with in the relationship, or that you have a need that needs met. Okay, let me put it in really simple non-relational terms. Okay, if this was in non-relationship terms, it would be like somebody who's standing next to a window that's open and them going, man, it's really cold in here, and them trying to shut the window but they can't shut it. A person would kind of come in and be like, oh, let me help you try to shut that window, right? They would have picked up on the cue that that person said, I'm cold, and notice that the window's open and jump in and help them do something about that. In terms of relational issues, this might be something like the dismissive avoidant comes in, doesn't say hi to their partner, and just goes to the computer and starts working. And the partner being like, hi, I'm glad to see you. And then being like, oh, hey, yeah, good to see you too. And then continuing to work. Okay, because the dismissive avoidant is hyper focused on self. They're hyper focused on their own path. This is not the same as selfishness because it's not a conscious decision. It's coming from the way that the attention mechanisms in the brain were developed because of their childhood experiences with emotional neglect and hyper independence. Okay, and so they tend to be anxious in the relationship towards self. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Because as little children, they were pushed out into this big old world to maybe take care of siblings or take care of household responsibilities that were too big or too complicated for them, for their development. And so they had to be hyper attuned to self in order to navigate their world. And that continues on inside of their romantic relationship. But how this is really experienced by their partners is someone who is selfish, who is self-focused, who deprioritizes them inside of the relationship, and who is always choosing their own needs above what is best for the relationship. In my hybrid group, I really address this. and I help dismissive avoidants and their partners understand where this behavior is coming from and how partners can communicate with each other to reduce the impact of the blinders effect. The brain is neuroplastic and it can learn to be attentive to the periphery, attentive to other people's needs and feelings. The DA just has never had to do that in their lives or didn't know how to do that. It really is a capacity issue for them. And so I help individuals navigate these intricacies of attachment that really impact relationships negatively. If you would like to learn more about my group experience, you can click the link in my bio. It says the all-inclusive experience. You can learn how to fix your relationship if you are dealing with a partner that has this effect, or you are experiencing it as a DA in your own life and you would like to change for the betterment of your relationship. Visit me at my website, thedatingdecoder.com.